Hello and welcome back with another episode of The Weird Factory. Before starting the video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the button to get the latest notifications first. A healthy weight is part and parcel of a healthy lifestyle. Keeping our pounds in check is good for our ticker, our bones, and our lungs. It might even keep cancer at bay, as we found out this week. But a staggering 73.7% of men and 66.9% of women in the world are overweight or obese. Perhaps it comes as no surprise, then, that 66% of us are currently on a diet. Whether opting for a tried and tested Mediterranean diet or a relative newcomer, like intermittent fasting, as a nation we understand that our diet, our weight, and our health are intricately linked. According to trusted source to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, physical activity is an important part of maintaining healthy weight, losing weight, and keeping extra weight off once it has been lost. The HSS recommend at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every week, but less than 25% of adults manage to hit this target. Where does sex fit into this? Well, sex is good for our health, it burns calories, and it makes us happy. You are, of course, unlikely to burn as many calories between the sheets as during a heavy gym session, but exercise alone may not be the panacea for weight loss we give it credit for, according to a recent study. So, get ready to look at the obvious and some of the more surprising reasons why sex should be firmly integrated into our plan to reach and maintain a healthy weight, regardless of whether you are a gym buff or not. Sex is Exercise. In 2013, Professor Anthony D. Corellis, along with colleagues from the Université du Québec à Montréal in Canada, studied exactly how many calories we burn when we get our groove on. Professor Corellis explains in his article Trusted Source in the journal PLOS One that only a handful of studies have attempted to shine the spotlight on the physiological effects during partnered sex with human subjects. All previous studies showed an increase in heart rate. For his study, Professor Corellis worked with 21 heterosexual couples, aged between 18 and 35. The couples were asked to have sex once per week for a period of 4 weeks, while wearing an activity tracker that allowed the research team to calculate how much energy they spent each time. A sexual encounter included foreplay, intercourse, and at least one orgasm by either partner, then, ended at the couple's discretion, as the authors explain. Here is what the team found. Men burned on average 101 calories and women 69 calories when they had sex. The average intensity was higher than walking but lower than jogging, Professor Corellis explains, putting it firmly in the category of moderate intensity exercise. This means that each time we have sex, it counts toward our 150 minutes of weekly exercise recommended by the HSS. If that's not appealing enough, the data revealed more pleasant than a gym workout. The range of calories burned during sex varied considerably. At the lower end, men burned 13 calories and women 11.6, while at the top of the range, men shifted 306 calories and women 164. Let's look at these numbers into the context of how long each sexual encounter lasted. While the average duration of foreplay, intercourse, and orgasm was 24.7 minutes, the actual time the couples spent having sex ranged from 12.5 to 36.9 minutes. Whether the top calorie burners had more vigorous sex or just took their sweet time isn't clear from the data, but we can draw some conclusions. If we want to increase our calorie loss during sex, we can either get more actively involved, keep it for longer, or a combination of both. Professor Corellis also compared sex with regular gym exercise. He found that men burned between 149 and 390 calories during a 30-minute, moderate intensity session on the treadmill, while women burned between 120 and 381. When asked to compare the two activities, all of the men and 95% of the women in the study said that sex was more pleasant than pounding the treadmill. So, we are not only making considerable headway toward reaching our 150-minute weekly exercise goal when we have sex, we also stand to gain more pleasure than from a gym visit. Exercise may not equal weight loss. While some may argue that a study on healthy, young individuals may not be representative of the general population, the participants included a wide spread of weight categories. Body mass index trusted source BMI for men varied between 19.5 and 31, putting at least some of the men in the overweight and obese category. For women, the range was from 16.9 to 26.6, meaning some of the women were underweight and some were overweight. The study doesn't reveal anything about the participants' weight during the 4 weeks they took part. But if you're looking to shift some pounds, exercise alone may not be the answer to weight loss we once thought it was, as we reported last week. Researchers from the University of Bangor in the United Kingdom found no discernible weight loss in women who had taken part in 3 sessions of circuit exercise training per week for either 4 or 8 weeks, despite burning around 3,400 calories in total during this time period. On the contrary, the team identified changes in hormones that control appetite in overweight and obese study participants after exercise. Quote opening square bracket, comma closing square bracket. Someone undertaking more physical activity may experience increased appetite as a result, senior study author Hans-Peter Kubis, PhD, explains. Sex might fill a useful gap here because hormones released during our amorous experiences cause us to eat less.
Panda. I got broads in Atlanta. Just took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting no licks in the band.